Gold has reached a ridiculous price of over 3,000 Australian dollars per troy ounce, and there are many new prospectors out here wanting to give prospecting a go. With so many prospectors on the goldfields checking all the regular spots for gold like inside bends, today I want to show you 3 spots I check for gold that most prospectors don't. Before you start prospecting, you're going to need a gold pan. And it doesn't matter if yours is small and black or a big blue one, or even the shape of a dustpan. As long as you know how to use your pan, they pretty much all work exactly the same. And once you're all practiced up with your chosen pan, I always switch back to a 10-inch small pan to do my testing, because if I get a lot of gold in a 10-inch pan, when I put a sluice box in there, I'm going to get a whole bunch. Ooh, step down the slippery clay. We almost went in. Gravity still works here. The places I'm going to show you will work on any creek, but I'm on Reedy Creek. Reedy Creek is world renowned for its ultra fine gold and its cassiterite or tin ore. Irrespective of the size of the gold that's in your area, these techniques will still work. It'll just depend on how much water is coming down the creek as to where it got deposited in those spots. The first spot we're going to try is in the edge of fast water. Now, a lot of people know to check the inside bend, which is what this is here, but this works for anywhere there is fast water, so long as there is a section where it slows down. Our concentration point for our gold is right on the edge here. That is where all your gold is going to be hanging out. All right, random creek boulder, hold on to my stuff for me. You're going to have to excuse my camera angles. There's not very many places I can set it up here. We're going to waddle out right to where the fast water slows down, which is about here. Then we're going to feel around for some gravel. That's all bedrock at the moment, so the fast water's scouring it. There's some gravel. All right, so we can see we've got a fast line of water right here, and within a foot, it's dead. That dead water is what's going to stop our gold from traveling downstream. Fast water traditionally scours everything away except for the heaviest items, and that's why we're seeing a lot of big rocks. But you know you're in the right spot because we have leaf debris. So we have fast water big rocks, and we have something so light it would normally get washed away. Gold is 19 times heavier than water. It drops out as soon as it has a chance. So if we're getting really large rocks mixed with very light leaves, the gold's probably dropped out near it. Remembering that this is only a 10-inch pan, we're not going to see a huge speck count. But if we got 10 in here, we could times that by 3 for a regular pan, and that means we'd be getting 30 specks a pan, and that's a deposit worth working. Think of this as like a Polaroid of the creek. It's just a snapshot. And because we dug next to very fast water, the only heavy things that are going to drop out are going to be the really heavy things. So I would expect to see a mixture of big tin and small tin together. If you just get one size of heavy material like ironstone or cassiterite, you're probably off the pay streak a little bit. You're probably too far downstream from it. The bigger the tin, the harder the water was running. The moment of truth is there gold there. Oh, there we go. We got a rivet of some kind, so we're getting metal objects. That's a really good start. Oh, we got gold, and we got that mixture of tin. Look at that. Remembering that there are 3 of these small 10-inch pans in every one of those big blue pans. And I can count 18 little pieces of gold in that pan. Meaning if I was to pan that particular spot with my big pan, I'd be getting 50 plus specks a pan. Don't forget your stuffer bottle, and to name it. This one is Vo-Gus Jr. because Vo-Gus is currently in retirement. I can already hear some of the seasoned prospectors say, hey Chris, that was kind of obvious. It's going to get more complicated from here, don't worry. The creek gets really deep at this point, so waders. You're going to need waders and some sure feet, which I don't have, but we're heading to this bank over here. The thing about most creeks and rivers like this one, unless you've come out during a major storm, you're never actually going to see it in proper flood. I'm standing in the creek bed at the moment in waist deep water, and I got flood debris way up in the tippy top of that tree there. All that means is that the floodwaters are so high, it's more than likely carrying particulate matter like rocks, sand, tree branches, and gold suspended in the liquid, not running against the creek bed. When that suspended sediment hits clay, just like this, it sticks. And what that means for us is that we can come along, and as long as you keep your eye out for any of that sticky clay, either up on the banks or even on just floodplains or in the riverbed itself, you will find gold almost always. Sometimes they're really rich because prospectors just don't check these. It doesn't look good to most prospectors. This looks like utter crap that you wouldn't check. But what they don't know and they don't understand is that prospectors lose out on 100% of the deposits they don't look for. Meaning that if you're not willing to test everything, you're not going to find it. Now obviously we have 1 or 2 pieces of gravel scattered throughout this, and that is a great indicator that there was some kind of gravel traveling over the top of this during flood. But you can see the vast majority of the soil is just made out from the sandy silt left over from those floods that was suspended in that water. And it's sitting on that really sticky clay. I ain't gonna lie, bro, you're currently sitting on a whole bunch of tree roots suspended directly above water, and I can't afford a new phone, so could you just not fall in? Oh yeah, we've got black sand, but it's all very similar size, so maybe not. Maybe it isn't a deposit. Reedy Creek gold being so fine, it quite often ends up on those clay pans. Oh, look at the gold! Oh, no one's checked that in a while. Yeah, man. Remember, we have to times the result by 3. And there are 15 pieces of flour gold in that pan. And I got all of those pieces of flour gold literally scraping mud off clay. One of the richest deposits I've ever worked came off a clay pan that had a gravel layer that was only about 2.5 inches deep. And we were getting over 300 specks of gold in every pan because no one had touched it in years. A lot of prospectors out here forget to check above themselves. Hey, but Chris, there's no dirt up there. What do you mean? Well, my budding new gold prospector, rivers and creeks like Reedy Creek here have been around a lot longer than you and I, and they're going to be around a lot longer after we're gone. And what that means is climbing small mountains in waders. Oh, because there's nothing I love more than putting on a pair of juicy pants in the hot sun and climbing up hills. This here is conglomerate, effectively cement made out of river gravels that's a few million years old. Now conglomerate's great, it shows you exactly where the river ran, but you don't need it. You just need bedrock up high on a bench. And the reason is that that creek at one time used to run all the way up there, and well, on this side too. The same exact creek we're getting gold out of today used to be transporting gold laden gravels up here. Look on those upper bench deposits for where the river gravels are oozing out of the soil, or clear indicators of where heavy water once ran, such as polished bedrock or sediments. All right, get rid of some of those leaves. Right off the bedrock. Back down the steep little hill we go. And so far we've been pretty damn lucky. We got 2 from 2 for gold. Bench deposits are a little bit more tricky because you're trying to read a river that was there 100,000 plus years ago, which is almost impossible. Most successful prospecting is nothing more than the willingness to try spots and be skunked. If you're willing to not find gold, ultimately you will run into the deposits that no one else has found. And we have got some black sand there. That's a great start. Let's find out if that bench deposit had anything on it. Maybe. We got black sand, that's a good start. It's chunky too. Oh, there's a little speck there. 2. Or is there more? No, there's more. Comparatively, this is not a lot of gold to the other 2 spots, and I wouldn't pursue it, but it shows that there is gold on that bench, so there's probably rich spots somewhere along there. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 little flakes. Look, I found a lot more than 4 little flakes today, so we're going to put them back in the river to grow. That was 3 different places to check for gold that I don't normally see people check. If you found this helpful, leave me a comment below, and I want to know, where do you check for gold? Tell me your secrets.